Welcome. My guest today is someone who I get to call a friend who's had a very exciting past 2 weeks or month. We have Nightshade joining us from, was it Calgary, Alberta, Canada?
Yes, sir. That's where
House
I'm
music
from.
artist with, I, I guess house is the best genre because you're like all across the board in every genre at this point.
Yeah, I just like to dabble with all forms of house, from like 124 to 135. So,
So you've had some exciting news. I don't want to share it. You want to make the announcement? I believe it was on social media recently, but for those who don't know, something pretty exciting just happened.
yeah, so yesterday I just announced uh, a three-track EP with a buddy of mine who lives a few hours south of me. Three-track EP that's actually going to be techno, so completely irrelevant to house.
Dude,
But
that's exciting. Three
uh,
tracks. Are they all done?
yeah, they're all done. They're all ready to go. I could probably send them to you after this session if you want, just to take a peek. But that comes out March 21st. But in the meantime, I have a bass house track coming out with Goons music this Friday on February 25th.
Dude, that's
So
super exciting. What, four signed tracks here?
yeah, I got a little bit more too, but I'm not gonna say anything at the moment yet.
Dude, I'm
Yeah,
super happy for you. It's like really exciting news. Three song EP is like even amazing. Even
yeah,
better that you already have them done, so you're not on the hook to create two more tracks.
yeah. No, absolutely. Like it. That probably took us about honestly like 10 months to sort it out fully. We had discussions of doing this idea of like a three-track EP techno collaboration for the longest time. I've always been interested in making techno, but I've never been that good at it. So putting like two heads instead of one was a lot easier to get this sort of thing done.
Nice. So techno, it's funny. Like, let me know the logic behind that. I personally think I've always been a techno fan. I feel like it hasn't really taken off here in the US, but there's been like this like reawakening like as of lately
Yeah,
where it's like IO did it back in the RIP,
yeah, no.
but now it's like getting popular again. Like I think people are looking for a new sound, and it's like one of those new ones. They're like, this hits. It's like a new kind
Yeah,
of techno.
for sure, for sure. Have you heard of Killscript?
I think so.
Yeah, so he's managed by the same guy that used to manage IO. So he's definitely doing a lot of uh, process of getting up there right now, which is really dope to see, bringing like techno more to North America. I was fortunate enough to actually see IO before he passed away at Paradiso in 2019. So that was
Nice.
probably like a big impact as to why I just like love listening to techno when I'm not making house music. So
Yeah, I secretly love techno. I don't know if it was because like when I first started listening to like electronic music, it was like before I found like house, it was like all I knew was like techno. Like whatever came
yeah,
across
yeah, yeah,
made to the US was like
yeah.
hardcore techno. That was like in some soundtrack to the Matrix or some other stuff that was just like the early stuff that just I thought was amazing.
Oh, most definitely, man. Um, Unfortunately, here in Calgary, techno is not that big. It's only starting to pick up, honestly, within Canada. There's like a big techno scene in Toronto, which is out on the East Coast. This one artist that like who's definitely making a statement for techno in Canada is Barbosa. I got to see him play at Chasing Summer in 2021 over the just the last summer, and just seeing his like movement of what he's trying to like incorporate, how he has like his own label and he's trying to bring like the techno scene from the east over to the west is really good to see, because like we need more of that.
Yeah. Are you seeing it like right now in like Alberta? Is it like the smaller underground clubs that are playing techno, nothing in the main room?
Honestly, there's no techno. I've only got to see techno once, and that was just recently. But even before the pandemic, there was like zero techno that I could hear. So
Do you think techno should have vocals to it?
depends,
I think
like
it's the one thing that's holding it back.
yeah. I feel like if it has vocals, most people wouldn't really call it techno. They'll end up just calling it trance. So it's kind of hard to say, but like I'm not I'm not gonna say much because like I'm not like so deep into the techno scene, but like I would love to get a little bit more of a taste for it, but you can't really do that when there's not many shows. So
Yeah. So like what would you define like the structure that defines it as techno versus another songs in the genre? There's too many now for me to keep track of, but like
oh, there's
what in
so
your
many.
mind do you find it define as techno?
Um, basically just like a loud thumping kick, you know. The first point that I'm like listening to, and usually if it's just the same pattern for the first minute of the track and then changes probably at the 16th, then I would consider it to be like techno. Again, it's kind of hard for me to say. I don't listen to it that much. In truth, my own girlfriend, she's shown me a lot of techno. She's a bigger techno head than me, so I think she's honestly more hyped for this EP than I am.
Well, like, yeah, it was a collab on these three tracks, and then what were the other like genres you're big into before? I know you've done some like tech house, some acid house, a little bit of everything. Do you have some
Yeah.
preference or stuff you kind of like built your most experience on, or that you get excited about still today, or you just like to mess around anything in the
Yeah.
range and just see what comes up?
So I was definitely just playing whatever I wanted, like sorry, making whatever I felt was necessary for that week. But because you know you and I both took Cosmic Academy, and I honestly started really liking making like UK bass a lot more, and uh, like the last few weeks, like the last maybe 3 tracks that I started making, they were more like UK bass influenced, and I just it just feels so much more fun to make personally. Just getting that full energy, those weird sounds. It's almost kind of like I like to explain UK bass kind of like slow down dubstep in a way, you know, for like all the bass heads that I live around because they don't know what UK bass is like. So from to break it down for them easily, I'm always like it's dubstep but slower.
What's the BPM on UK bass?
UK bass, oh, that could range from like 124 to 135, 140. But most of the time, like the UK side, like uh, Dark Sea, Holy Goof, Notion, they're usually making like 128 to like 134. So
It's funny. It's like in our class we had, was it half the people over that were doing UK bass? That was like the
yeah,
thing, maybe
yeah,
more. It was
yeah,
nuts. I didn't haven't even heard of it, and I was like, I guess this is the thing. I guess I'm behind the sign. But like, I don't know what defines like dubstep or bass music anymore. Because
yeah,
like in my
no,
mind, I remember like the original dubstep, it was kind of melodic and it had like a really crunchy drop every time.
yeah,
And that was like that for a while. It got super popular and it kind of died off. Now there's just like bass music,
just
which
like in your face kind of
it's
stuff.
just fucking there's just hitting the whole time.
Yeah,
And I don't know I can't keep up the genres anymore, but everything sounds good. There's so much
yeah,
variety. There's
yeah.
like definitely something to find.
No, most definitely, man. Like
So
besides making UK bass, I like to try and make like confession styled bass house, you know. Nothing too crazy, but more like that minimal bass house side. And it wasn't even until like a few months ago that I realized like they just call that minimal bass house. For the longest time, I would just call it bass house. But again, right, like it's such a broad topic. Like anybody can compare one genre as this, and then somebody else would completely say it as something different. So
it's one of those things. It's like I don't know if we care more as like producers and DJs about what the genre is than like the regular person. Like sometimes I was like, I don't know what this is, but it sounds dope.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
I don't know how to make it or what they're doing, but it works as long as
Yeah.
it sounds good.
Yeah, as long as it sounds good or if they're making the people move, that's all that really matters to me. So
You play a lot of live shows. How do you mix it all in? It's like they have such different sounds. Do you like keep a whole set, try to keep it together mostly, or just flow through it and just see how you can make it work throughout the set?
so I do a little bit of prepping sometimes, you know, like obviously my library is going to be full of so many different genres. I create like maybe a playlist of like 200 some songs that I want to play around with, and then kind of just go with it, you know, just get a feel of the crowd. Usually I like to start sets with more like a tech house feel, very light kind of thing. And then progress into some more heavier bass house, and then generally by the end of it, depending on how the crowd seems, I like to throw in that UK bass at the end. So
Nice. And then what's the scene like in Canada right now, where you're at on the West Coast?
uh so restrictions are opening up here in Calgary March 1st. So that's going to be interesting because we're finally getting shows again, and it's always been like on and off, on and off. Like we were locked down for like from like mid-December and up until now to like do shows. So it's always been like a challenge to like try and like get yourself up there and then getting shut down because of the laws and stuff. Vancouver actually just opened up last week, and just seeing through friends' stories, having a fun time, being able to play again was amazing to see because unlike us, Vancouver was closed for like 2 full years. So they had zero shows, zero like actual club events, stuff like that. So I could not imagine how it would feel to not be able to dance, you know.
Yeah, I like going to concerts is like one of my favorite things in the world. It doesn't even have to be like electronic music, just concert, like live music in general. And
Yeah,
when they're taken away, I thought there's like this little piece of me that like didn't get fulfilled on a regular
no, definitely,
basis.
definitely. What was pretty interesting though is like I started DJing maybe a month or two before all this went down.
Horrible timing. I guess you get a lot of practice at home.
Oh, I got so much
Did you
practice.
catch the bug like you got a show in or two, and then you're like, all right, this is what I'm gonna
What
do.
do you mean, like the bug?
I mean, like the bug, you're like energized and like I want to do this. I want to get better at this.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Like I think because like I've been going to shows since I was like 18, 19, like as soon as I turned legal. And it wasn't until I was 21 that I was like, you know, I should probably give this a shot just to play around with. Let's learn how to DJ because I was surrounded by a bunch of dubstep friends that always DJ'd all the time, and I would go support them, go see them play. And I'm like, I should just play around with this too. Maybe whenever we go to parties and they have the deck set out, I can actually hop on it and actually play.
You're like, oh, I
So
have my thumb draft. We're good. Oh,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I had those intentions initially, and then when lockdown came in, it was honestly low key perfect timing for me because then I just locked myself in my room and just forced myself to learn how to DJ.
had you been producing already, or you just started 2 years ago?
I started producing in December 2020.
Okay, so you've been
Yeah, so
pr-
it's only
pr-
been over. It's just been over a year.
pretty recent. That's a pretty quick rise. You've been
Yeah.
um, it's amazing success so far. What was like your journey from then? Like, how you got started? Was it YouTube videos? What are you an
Yeah.
Ableton guy, FL Studio guy? What was the
So
path?
yeah, so like a little backstory, basically. I tried Ableton when I was in grade 8 with like a couple of buddies. You know, I played around with it for like 3 months, did the free trial, thought I was amazing at it, tried making prog house, but obviously that didn't stuck, and I went back to just playing sports. So I didn't really touch Ableton or any DAW whatsoever until we got lockdown number 2 in Canada, and that was in December 2020. And I felt like around that time, since I've been DJing or practiced DJing for about a year, I was like, maybe I should build myself a computer and just start producing. Just say, fuck it, let's just start producing. So, because like I was gonna have nothing else to do, right? I'm not allowed
Yeah.
to go out. You can't go out. You can't go see friends. All that kind of thing. So I locked myself in my room and just for like 3 weeks straight, day in day out, I like got rid of my phone, went off socials, off the grid. Like I had friends ask me like, "What are you even doing?" And I'm like, "I'm just producing, man. I'm just trying to learn how to do it." And it would, like anybody else, I would just hop on YouTube and just like learn every single thing I could do. I would almost kind of do like a like a step by step kind of video, how to make this genre, how to make this genre, and I would just break it down with them and follow their steps and take in like their methods or how they did their producing, and then I watched somebody else's video, did it like how they did it, and then a few months go by, and then I kind of took like their skills and somebody else's skills and put it into kind of how I would produce, and that's kind of how I am today.
It's crazy. I was talking to Gabby about this. I remember like when I first got into it, it was like YouTube wasn't like a thing yet. It was like there, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like everything available.
Yeah, no, like right now, honestly, if you want to try producing, just go for it. There's so many resources available for you. Like there's people out there that are willing to teach you. Like you might as well reach out for those type of people if you're so dedicated to try and do something about it.
Yeah, and like if you like say you love Millennium like I do, if you're like how to sound like Millennium, I think there's 100 videos you can watch.
Yeah,
and just watch them all. By the time you get done, you're like, yeah, I can pretty much almost create a song now.
Yeah, pretty much. Like not even like I would say not even 5 years ago, the amount of video content that's available now just didn't exist, right? So it's crazy.
There's no excuse. Question: did you have any musical background before you got into it? Could you play a guitar, piano, anything?
Yeah. So my parents put me through piano classes from when I was like 7 until 14, maybe 15. So I definitely have like I don't want to say I have a good ear for it, but like it definitely helps how when you hit a chord that doesn't sound right or it might sound off key, that kind of thing. So understanding that component and knowing how to read keys was definitely a little quick jump start. And then I took drumming lessons from 13 to 17 because I wanted to eventually learn how to play guitar. My dad told me when I was a kid, if I wanted to learn to play guitar, I had to play piano first and then drums. And then he'll teach me how to play guitar.
Drums is an interesting in between.
Yeah, it was a very interesting in between. He never
like
taught me
a full drum kit.
Yeah, I had a full drum kit, and I used to do like full-on lessons with a drummer. I used to listen to a lot of Foo Fighters, Nirvana, that kind of thing, and just like jam out to that kind of music. And then eventually, just straight up, started listening to like some like dubstep tracks, right, and just drum to that. Just listen to the kick and beats and stuff like that, and just try to drum with it. So that was really good experience. And I even took band classes in junior high from like grade 7 to grade 9.
What instruments did you play in band?
So I played trumpet in grade 7, and then I moved to the percussion group in grade 8 and grade 9.
I was a percussion group in 6th, 7th. I don't remember. It's been a long time. Maybe it was in elementary school. But I feel like everyone either got stuck in like percussion, trumpet, or trombone.
Yeah, no, straight up.
And then producing at home, what's the gear?
I produce on a PC. I personally thought building a PC, getting a monitor would
so you have like a tower.
Yeah, I got a tower that's just sitting underneath here. It runs okay. It does what it needs to be done. I don't really game on PC, so it's just got like an Intel i5 processor. So it's nothing too crazy.
What do you do when you have to travel? When you have to travel again?
I haven't got there yet, but I actually have to go to the UK in April to see some family. And when I go see the family, I'm gonna have to invest in buying a laptop because I don't think I could handle 2 weeks being away from producing.
Yeah, you can pack up the towers, carry
just pack the tower and take it everywhere you go. Just need to find out what to do with the monitor then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a MacBook guy. They're so good. They just always turn on.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with using a MacBook. Like, it's really handy, or you can just travel with it. But like, I felt like just getting a PC right from the start, you can like play around with so much more things, and I don't have to freeze my tracks all the time. So the CPU power is not as terrible.
Yeah, that's definitely like the perks. You have like way more CPU power and
Yeah.
like just overall bandwidth to do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, exactly. And you can put so much more VST
And
plugins and all that
and for
stuff.
the price too, like desktops now are dirt cheap.
Yeah. When I built this, including the monitor, actually, if I don't include the monitor, it was like 1.2, and it's more powerful than.
Yeah, you get way more way more hard drive space, way more RAM.
Yeah, exactly. So
And
can't really
then
complain with that.
MIDI keyboard, Mike. What else do you got?
Yeah, so just a very simple MPK mini. You know, like here, I'll just unplug it real
I
quick.
got the exact same one sitting right next to me.
Every single person has this, right? So one of these
Yep,
little bad boys.
I got the white one.
Yeah.
Damn, that's all you need.
I bought the limited edition all black keys one, and I thought that was so cool at the time because I like black. I kind of regret it now because when I look at it, I struggle to figure out the white keys
Because
sometimes.
the keys are small too.
Yeah, exactly. They're not big keys either, so half the time I think I'm hitting like a sharp, but I'm hitting just a straight note.
When I was talking to Gabby the other day, I was like, yeah, I always like play, but then I end up having just to draw them in afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like just
Yeah.
playing around with it. Then I end up drawing everything.
Yeah, I do that too. Like initially I started when I didn't even have the keyboard, I would just play on like the computer keyboard to make the notes. But musically, I didn't think I was learning much with it. So then when I got the keyboard, I was playing with that. But again, like you said, sometimes drawing it, you can get so much more like fine tuning parts. So I kind of do like a bit of both. I play around with it live, like record it, played, and then I tweak it by drawing it.
Nice. And then from like a production standpoint, I know everyone has their favorite plugins and whatnot, and it's like it's a small addiction getting another one every time I get an ad for it.
Yeah.
Do you have any go-tos? Are you a Plugin Alliance guy, or are you?
Yeah, so I started using Plugin Alliance. I'm liking it. There's a lot of really handy plugins that you can use there. Obviously, as most people, I use Serum. I want to get into Silent. I feel like that plugin is just something else, in my opinion. I like the fact that there's limitations to it, so then you don't like get sidetracked and start creating some other random sounds. You know, they kind of give you like a template of sounds that is often used. So I really think one of the next plugins I want to buy is Silent. Yeah.
Nice. I'm a Serum guy, but sometimes like I waste more time like playing around with presets than I do producing. Or like looking for packs, for Serum. I'm like, oh, this is the sound. And you go through like each one. There's like 40 or 60 different sounds. Like, nope, this sounds cool. I'll remember this. Nope, oh, this sounds cool.
I'm not sure if you know this, but I only found out recently. I think if you go to like the menu section on Serum, you can start rating your sounds that you have, like the presets. So you can give them like a 5-star, 4-star, 3-star. So then you can like go back to it later and find it much easier.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
This is a good pro tip. Do you have any other pro tips you'd like to share?
Yeah. So also when you go into that section where you can rate them, there's also like a search bar. So you can, if you remember the name of that sound, you can just search it as opposed to trying to find it through every pack.
So like when you're producing, do you have like a particular like specific process when you're writing of like the workflow you go through every time?
Yeah. So I used to start very organized. So like every time I open up my template, I have my basses, my kicks, drums.
So you use a template every time?
Yeah. Every time I open up, I have a pre-made template that I worked on because it just makes the workflow so much quicker. And and initially I would work within the templates that I already had pre-made, but it started to slow me down because I wasn't getting that workflow and I was keeping it very organized. So as of late, I would keep that template every time I open it, but then I would just add a track. And then once I've made the majority of the track, then I start organizing it to the way I want to do it.
So do you get rid of the template tracks once they're like in there, or you just leave it there for the structure, or you just minimize them and then work off the new stuff?
I just minimize it and then work on the new stuff and then put them into the placements that I want to have it later.
And then from do you use a lot of samples, or are you just writing stuff based on using plugins and instruments?
I play with both. I feel like with samples, you can get pretty creative with them. You can toss them in, and then since I'm on Ableton, I use a lot of the stock plugins to like manipulate them, Complex Pro, transpose them, stuff like that. So then it doesn't sound like just a quick click and drag kind of thing.
Splice, or use something else?
I've started using a bit more Splice, but that's just mainly for vocals. Besides that, I'm usually just using packs. I like using the Unison packs a lot, like the Volak and Bijou Unison packs. Those are solid. And then the Producer School. I'm not sure if you ever heard that. They have a couple good packs. Like I like using this one pack that's called Redemption, and it's like confession style music. So that's kind of the route that I like to make. So
Is Confession the dream label?
yeah, 100%.
It's blowing up.
Yeah, 100% would love to sign with that label one day. And obviously, I would love to sign on Nightbase as well. Yeah,
I think a lot of people would agree with that statement.
Yeah. No, most definitely. Like, I have like a little vision board that like sits beside me whenever I produce, and it just has like a bunch of like labeled names that I want to accomplish
Nice.
in the next few years, just to keep that mindset going.
I love it. I have little sticky notes I put at the bottom of my monitor, my goals.
Yeah.
I like leaving there and put new ones, and like after I've like hit them or something, just as a reminder of like how far I've gone and stuff like that.
Yeah. Those nice reminders are honestly so essential for somebody that has to like sit in front of a desk for like 8 hours on end. And sometimes you just feel like you're not getting anywhere. But then when you look at those reminders, it really helps you keep going.
And then when you're producing, do you do studio monitors or headphones?
I just work on headphones. And then when I think I'm done the track or like most of it, I proceed to listen with the monitors. But I have KRKs as my studio monitors, and they receive a lot of low end. And that's something that like I've worked on trying to not depend on the monitors so much, because like it gives you like a lower frequency than it actually is. So that's kind of another reason why I end up just like producing the headphones.
I have Yamahas, and I like them, but I don't like using them compared to headphones. They have almost no low end.
Yeah.
And I can't tell what I'm listening to. I'll play. I only use them like once I have something good and I want to like jam out, like see how it sounds.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same way I do it. Yeah.
So, for like, you've had a pretty quick success for like new music producers looking to get in the game. That like, hey, like I love electronic music or any type of music. I want to start doing. What is your best advice to get started? Like day one, I have nothing to do. Like, what should I do?
Really, just throw yourself in there, man, and like I like kind of how I did. Just like watch some YouTube videos, follow the YouTube video. Don't expect that by the end of the day you're gonna have a track that's signable. That's just how it is. That might happen even today for myself, right? Like I can't expect that at the end of the day the track's completely done and I can send it out. So if I have that mentality at my level right now, like I don't see why you shouldn't be thinking ahead of it.
Yeah, most of the stuff you create isn't magic every time. It sucks a lot of the time.
Yeah. And like you're just gonna have to accept that, and you're gonna learn from that, right? You're gonna learn from what you did, what mistakes you kind of took, and what might take 8 hours to make that one session. Next time you go in, it's gonna take maybe half that time because you've learned so much from it the previous time. So this is honestly the only thing I can really say is just like commit to it and just put time into it, because it just happens over time. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah, you got to put the work in. It's
Yeah.
like just hours spent in the DAW.
Exactly.
So from a show perspective, what do you got coming up? Anything yet?
Yeah, so we haven't announced it yet, but I got a little show coming in on March 12th. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. It's I'm really looking forward to this one. It's a little back-to-back show with a friend of mine as well. And I'm not gonna say his name, but as soon as I mention his genre, people within my city are gonna know exactly who he is. So yeah, he's like a trap DJ, and
always a good time.
Yeah, so it's gonna be really interesting to go back and forth with trap music and then bass house and UK bass. But we've played together before, like not at a live standpoint, but we've definitely played around together before, and we bounce around really good. So to do this with an audience is going to be very interesting and a lot of fun.
So you're doing back to back. Are you just saying you're on one side of the mixer, he's on the other, going back and forth, choosing each track?
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. When I do my back to backs, I kind of like to do 2 and 2 or 3 and 3. I kind of find those 1-1
too much tic tac.
Yeah, it's too much tic tac. It's kind of pointless in my opinion, because half the time you're simply transitioning out of the other track and you can't really get anything out of that, right? So if you're doing at least 2, you can get a little bit creative with it, but then 3 is even more interesting, right? I know some people, they like to do back-to-backs as in like 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off kind of thing, because 2 tracks could literally mean 30 seconds for some people, or 2 tracks could mean 5 minutes. So
dude, sometimes in trap world, it's like 4 tracks is like 60 seconds long because they're just like slamming drops together.
Changing it. So yeah.
So wait, are you gonna be playing trap all night? Or are you gonna be playing dubstep or like?
No, I'm gonna play bass house and UK bass. I'm gonna work with him, and I'll probably have some trap tracks, just so I can work a little bit easier with him. But I'll definitely carry like a volt that ranges from like 124 to like 150, just with house.
Just come prepared with a deep library.
A deep library, exactly. Throw some speed house in there, you know. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Just mix it up a bunch.
Yeah, exactly. As long as the people are enjoying it, that's all that really matters in the end.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I love me some trap music. I live in Atlanta, so like rap music's huge here, and hip hop culture is like part of the culture. So it's like when trap came out, I was like, this makes perfect sense to me. Like, I love rap music and I love dubstep, and put them together, and I know all the songs. This is amazing.
Yeah, no, straight up, man. Like, I definitely have gotten a liking for trap again. You know, like there was that era for like 2014, 2015 where it was like pretty big, right?
I remember it was like Phlostradamus would burn Atlanta to the ground every time they came.
I believe it for sure.
I would like clear my schedule the day of and the day after. Like, gotta rest up, gotta hydrate. Like, this is about to be an event. Yeah, and it would be wild, and every rapper in the scene would come out for every song.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah,
but they broke up. Hoodie Nation, R.I.P.
Yeah. It happens, right? It's pretty hard to stay as duos, you know, honestly. Like in truth, Nightshade was technically a duo to start off with, and then as soon as I like started getting into my producing and started getting good at it, we just had different ideologies behind what we wanted to do, so we just parted ways, and I just stuck with a Nightshade name and just kept going with it.
Nice. Yeah, it's kind of a lonely profession.
Yeah, it can, for sure, but that's why you see some people like doing collabs and stuff, right? You gotta bounce each other's ideas, and you already have like your staple sound eventually, right? So then when two different masterminds come together, they can create something really great.
Yeah, I feel like the collabs and the features is like I feel like that's like the genre we're like in right now.
Yeah.
Especially with, I don't know if it's because of COVID, but everyone just like, if you just release a track by yourself nowadays, you're like, oh, it's only Nightshade in the credits. That's it.
Yeah.
Do you have any dream collabs?
Oh, I would love to make a collab with Mysteria. That would be a lot of fun. He's definitely one of those names. Fetish would be another one. Tech and New Light. I'm just looking at my Instagram right now. Dusty Cloud would be amazing too, you know.
I have no idea who any of these people are, but I assume they're great.
Oh yeah. I love their sound. I love how they are as individuals and what they do for the community. So it would be really great to like befriend them and also eventually make a track with them.
Dude, it's on the vision board. Keep it up. Anything can be possible.
Oh yeah, I believe it. If you set your mind to it. So
If you have any new advice for anyone who is currently a music producer or DJ, who, like, what is the one piece of advice you'd give everyone?
the biggest piece of advice would probably be like spread that success, share that love, you know. Like if you're winning, everybody's winning. If you see your friends winning, then you're winning together, right? It shouldn't be a competition. Yeah, you see some people like that's probably one thing you see in like hip hop. There, it seems like it's a competition, but like in the EDM scene, it's all about like that unity feeling. So if, like I said, if you're winning, if your friend's winning, if your buddies just got a contract, just got a festival booking, you know, then you're winning with them. So you might as well be celebrating together.
Dude, wise words, very wise words. Shed the love on everyone else and be happy for other people's success.
Absolutely, man.
I learned that a long time ago. Maybe it's my old age, but man, I get more enjoyment from seeing other people being successful than I do for my own success. And like the sooner I learned that, the like the more fulfilled my life was. And like the more you help other people be successful, you'll get everything back in time, like tenfold.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a matter of time, man. It just give your love to the world and it will come back to you.
You know, if you're a fan, buy their merch.
Yeah.
Give them follow them on Spotify, follow them on Instagram, give them likes every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like people that are up and coming appreciate that stuff. And
oh yeah, you know, no, 100%. Like just simply like tagging that artist and sharing it, saying that you love that music or holy shit, this is amazing, you know, that goes a long way. Don't ever think that just because you tag them that they're gonna get annoyed. Oh, it's another tag, it's another tag. Nah. Like in the long term, like they know that you simply doing that is gonna reach them a bigger audience. So they should be more than grateful for that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like at some point you have 0 plays, and when you get 1, you're so grateful. Then you get 100, and you're so grateful. You get 1,000, and then you're so grateful. It's like it's a slow progress, and like the best thing you use is like if you like a song, you're like an artist, just tell your friends.
Exactly. Just spread the word. You know, if you enjoy it, just let somebody else know that you enjoy it. You know.
I remember it's like I used to have to like download music back in the day to like show other people, and we like meet up, and that's how we like shared music.
Yeah.
I'd be like, dude, listen to this, and like take an earbud and like put it in, and we'd go through different songs. Oh, this is awesome, and like send it to them so they can put on their iTunes, like have the big old iPod. Now it's like, here's a Spotify link, here's my playlist with all my good stuff. Mm-hmm. Go listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a Nightshade playlist yet?
Yeah, I do. It's just on Spotify. It's slowly growing. Again, another process, but I really enjoy having like a personal Nightshade playlist, so you can kind of get an idea of what I've been listening to lately or what I still vibe to. And not only that, but I get to share like other house DJs, producers, their music as well. So then people within my city, because that's mainly the people that follow it at the moment, they get a taste of other music that I think should be getting some more appreciation for. So
Nice. Well, what are the big EDM cities in Canada?
I would
Toronto?
Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, and then Calgary, Edmonton are just right behind Vancouver. Honestly,
How far? Wait, how far are you from Seattle?
from Seattle, well, I know from Calgary to Vancouver, it's about 14 hours.
Oh, I'm not very good with maps. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
it's
to.
about 14 hours west from Calgary to Vancouver
I'm from
because
Montreal. I forgot how big that side of the other side of the country is.
yeah, yeah. The whole reason why it's like a longer drive is because we got to go through the Rockies, right? And then once we get to Vancouver, I think from Vancouver to Seattle is like 3 hours, 4 hours. Yeah. But then Montreal is like the whole other side that I've never driven there. So I wouldn't know, but I feel like that would be like a 2-day trip.
There's airplanes.
Yeah, there's airplanes. Yeah, I'd rather just fly.
Plus, it's completely flat. You're just driving through nothingness.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's quite boring to drive from the west to the east. It's not easy. I feel like in the States, if you were to do that type of drive, you're hitting like a big city every hour or something like that. So it's a little entertaining.
You can go up the whole East Coast, no problem. Hit a city every like 3 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, well, let's wrap this thing up. I appreciate you coming on. Any last things you want to announce, like release dates? Anything else?
February 25th, dropping a track with Goons music. March 21st, dropping an EP with Phunk Junk music. And then March 25th, I'm dropping another single with Goons music.
Nice, dude. Big March coming up. Then was it March 12th? You have a live show coming up,
And then, March 12th,
unannounced.
An unannounced show that I'll say in a couple of weeks.
It's exciting, man. Thanks for coming on.
Of course, thank you so much, man.
Super excited about your success. It sounds like it's the rocket ship starting to take off.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear the tunes come out too. And I'm actually about to subscribe to the Nightshade podcast, or playlist, whatever it's on Spotify. Send it to me afterwards.
I will. Thank you, man.
Thanks. You need to follow them. It's Nightshade on Instagram, and then Nightshade on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's Nightshade on all socials and just Nightshade on Spotify.
Sweet. Thank you so much for being here. I had a great time chatting and catching up.